and welcome to the first heathertericaon card reading. So I have with me some of my favourite decks, which I often use for guidance for myself at home. I'm going to choose 3 piles, and the topic is Healing Chiron. The Wounded Healer, Chiron. Okay, so picking the piles. Pile 1. We're going to take, oops, one card is the wrong way around. We're going to take 2 affirmation cards from this lovely This Is Your Sign deck. It was bought for me by my son. Oops, there's one. Oops, and that's another. Okay. Pile 1. And this is pile 2. 2 cards. I generally like to wait until there's a flyer or if there's one really obvious one sticking out. And there's 2. And pile 3. 2. Whoa, we're getting 3. Okay, so we're getting 3 for pile 3. That's the way it was meant to be. And the marks on this table are from, I'm also an artist, so I kind of like it that there are remnants of paint splashes from some of my work. And going to use Rebecca Campbell deck, the Rose Oracle deck, and going to take 2 cards from the Rebecca Campbell deck for each pile. Pile number 1, please. Can we have 2 cards? 2 cards from the Rebecca Campbell deck, please, and thank you. Oops, that was 2 cards for pile 1. Thank you, Spirit Team, the highest light and resonance, the vibration of unconditional love. Please, can I have 2 cards for pile 2? Thank you, thank you, thank you. And for pile 3, please, can I have 2 cards relating to healing of Chiron, the Wounded Healer. There we go. And take 1 card from the Herbal Astrology deck. Unless Spirit has other ideas. Spirit, with the highest line resonance, vibration of unconditional love or higher. Please give me, oops. Sorry, summed the wrong way up. Please give me, that one wanted to come out. 1 Herbal Astrology card for pile 1 relating to the healing of Chiron. That fell the wrong way around. Okay. And from the Pleiadian Oracle deck, 2 cards. 2 cards from the Pleiadian Oracle deck for my pile 1. So it's definitely that one. Cards. 1 more card for pile 1, please. Thank you. Woo! A flyer. That's definitely a card for pile 2. 1 more card for pile 2, please. Spirit Team of the highest light and resonance, vibration of unconditional love or high. I'll take that for pile 3. 1 more card for pile 3. Thank you, thank you. And from the Cosmic Ordering deck, I'd like to take 2 cards from the Cosmic Ordering deck, please, for pile 1. Seeing that one. 1, 2. From the Cosmic Ordering deck. Thank you, thank you, thank you. For the purpose of healing Chiron. Whoa, that's far too many. Please, can I have 2 cards? Spirit team, the highest light and resonance. Oh, that is 2. And for pile 3, Spirit team, the highest light and resonance, a vibration of unconditional love or higher. Please give me 1 more card for pile 3. Please and thank you. Thank you so much. Okay. And I also have these really cute little Sulamith Wolfing cards here, which have lovely messages on them. Spirit team with the highest light and resonance, please give me 2 Sulamith Wolfing cards. 1, 2 for pile 1, and 2 Sulamith Wolfing affirmation message cards for pile 2. 1. Spirit team, the highest light and resonance. Please give me 2 more cards. Oops. 1 more card for pile 3. Spirit team, the highest light and resonance. Vibration of unconditional love or higher. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. Okay. I think we'll have one of these cute and quirky quotes, star quotes. Spirit team, please give me a cute and quirky star quote for pile. Okay. And a cute and quirky star quote for pile 3. Thank you. And we'll go for shoot for the moon. 1, 2, 3. All right. Okay. And I think I'm going to add one of these. Whoa. No, I think I'm going to use those as confirmations. Do we want to add anything else to these piles? I think we have probably got enough here. All right. So, I'm going to have it so you can pick with your card. I think we'll go with that one with the B for pile 1. And let's go with this one with the rose for pile 2. And pile 1, what do we have? Oh, lovely, we have. Okay, so we've got a seagull. We have a seagull, a rose, and a bee. I like that. Symbolism's great. All right, so pile 1, welcome to your reading. Okay, so here are your cards. We've got I am safe and secure in this moment. My thoughts and actions and words are infused with mindfulness and intention. Okay. Have you admired the flowers today? Did you enjoy the birds? Have you gazed in wonder at the sea, or the mountains, or the sky? It's an old ironic habit of human beings to run faster when we have lost our way. All right, so 2 very contrasting things here. All right, I'm starting to pick up a message. All right. Okay. Codes of the seeds. Blueprint is within you. Take the next step. Sophia, divine plan, wisdom, intelligence within, destiny. Alright, so I'm starting to get the feeling here that these two cards here are relating to going too fast and slowing down, okay? Appreciating the moment. And when going too fast, bringing mindfulness and intention. When we're going a little too fast and we realize that we're moving too fast, okay? Codes of the seeds, the blueprint is within you, okay? That's when we find the moment. Wisdom and intelligence within, so the balance point between these nodal points of potentially going too fast towards what is familiar and going a little slower with what feels unfamiliar, and knowing that you're safe in every moment. Both cards talking about mindfulness and the moment of the center point. All right, oh wonderful, we've got chamomile. Pause. I'm going to put this here actually, and I may even pull another one for over here. Chamomile, inner peace. In fact, I'm going to put it there. I was right the first time. Inner peace, intelligence within. So this is all calling us to go within. And what I really like here is this gorgeous golden looking yellow in the daisies. It's the similar vibration here to we've got the sun and the moon on this chamomile card, and we've very much got the sun here with the bee and the girl all dressed in white, very, very moon-like. Even looks like there's a piece of shell here, very moon. So the balance again between the sun and the moon. We've got two deers here, masculine and feminine, again, balance. We've got a stag and a doe, and somebody just very peacefully sleeping. Very grounded, very comfortable, taking a pause. Okay, with this lovely message of admiring the flowers. Did you enjoy the birds? Have you gazed in wonder at the mountains? Look at this hill rising in the background. Or the sea. This river here is running to the sea, and we have the sun there in the background. So amazing, amazing, amazing. Beautiful. Okay, have you gazed in wonder at the mountains, the sea, and the sky? There they are on this picture. Gorgeous. I'll bring that here just in case you can or can't see. There you go. And bring this a little closer here so you can see this lovely, lovely Sulamith-Wolfing art. And this one here about running too fast was the girl with the candle. Kind of reminds me a little bit of the Five of Cups somehow. Almost like you're looking through the window at where she is. Maybe there's a sense of feeling left out here. This can sometimes talk about Chiron, the 11th house, and not finding one's place in the community, and trusting that we do actually have that acceptance and that community, but perhaps we just need to return to the center moment and breathe to realize that that was a past story and that it's gone. It's an old vibration. Okay, beautiful cards here by Braca Goldsmith, wonderful astrologer and artist and Pleiadian guide. Sacred spaces. This is a Pleiadian oracle deck. Sacred spaces. So if you're going to pause and reflect, I think you'd really need a sacred space in which to do that. I love how these cards, this really mirrors the codes of the seeds. The blueprint is within you. Take the next step. So creating a sacred space within which to pull it all back to the center point, the 0 point. Go within. Your heart is overflowing with love. So whenever we feel lost, like we're running too fast, just take a pause, breathe, slow it all back down. Come back to the center where we remember that is well and that the heart is full of love. And love again here, we've got the white and the yellow of the daisies echoing through this very cocoon womb-like set of colours. Your heart is overflowing with love, and that also reminds me of the Sophia, the rose, and this kind of womb-like void space, knowing all is well and everything is within. And this person here is also looking like they're about to be born, maybe about to be born from this womb-like space. Those two shapes there in the middle seem to echo each other to me, almost like something or someone about to be born here. Wonderful. So we can just go step by step, take the next step, just the next step. That's all we need to do. All we need to do. No rush, no rushing. It's an old ironic habit of human beings to run faster when we have lost our way. So we can go slowly. We can go slowly. All right. These are Cosmic Ordering cards by Barbell Moore. Program your unconscious to that which you are wishing for. Sit down comfortably and tell yourself mentally some terms that you find positive. For example, love, wealth, health, or formulate your wish like this. I love, and then it says example, a big garden. So whatever it is that you are wanting to attract, I think the suggestion here is to actually say, I love a big garden, I love wealth, I love health, which is often really difficult, isn't it? Because we have these past impressions or samskars, they would say in Sanskrit or in the yogic schools of thought, that, you know, these imprints that we can actually learn to override, to clear, to disregard, to rewire our thinking around, you know, say for instance that Chiron here was talking about not feeling a belonging within certain communities or not having found one's tribe, say if it was Chiron in the 11th house. I love being part of a community. I love a healthy community. I love a community that whose values are based on wealth, health, and happiness, for instance. I'm not really sure wealth is going to be, you know, I love a community that is heart-centered and focused on love and joy and the upliftment of others. There we go, I like that. I'm going to put that over here with this one because it feels like perhaps program is needed where we're perhaps running away from the things that we feel that are too difficult to face. Behind everything or everyone that gets or triggers our attention in either positive or a negative way hides a present for us. We simply need to receive it. So this is something that I just had a conversation with about the other day, that no matter how difficult our interactions are with others or in certain situations, there's always a gift to be gleaned. You know, there's the old phrase, it's probably from a movie, The $1 Million Wound, like when, you know, we've got two choices when we become wounded. We can either get stuck in the victimhood of the wound, or we can look for the gift within the wound, you know. And once again, if that's difficult to find, you know, if we're feeling lost and we're running from something that feels difficult, what I like here is it hides a present for us, a present. So rather than that relating to a gift, I think it's nice to think about that as being the moment. I am safe and secure in this moment. So if something's triggered us because we feel that it's negative or too difficult or very uncomfortable for us to deal with, I think simply being in this sacred space and, finding time to relax in the present moment, finding that we are safe and secure in this moment, and then the wisdom can come through when we're not in the fight or flight part of our psyche that makes us want to run back to things that we found comfortable. And move, take steps, step by step, towards, in a relaxed, calm and slow way, towards the moment firstly, to then glean from whatever has been a difficult or uncomfortable situation, to glean what the gifts are in that situation. So we have two little let go and trust the universe. I love that. And once again, it's echoing this lovely green that we've got throughout the reading. I love that. Where do I put it? I'm going to put it here. Let go and trust the universe. And we are all stardust. I mean, ultimately, again, that reminds me of the thing that I sometimes say, whether it's to myself in the mirror or to my kids, zoom out. Zoom out. And you've maybe seen those videos on social media where, the camera slowly zooms out of the picture. And when we're not really up close to something, when we take a bit of space, we can sometimes see that we're all stardust, We're all stardust, and everybody is here in your picture of reality, bringing something that you can take home as a piece of wisdom. Sure, if there's something that really isn't safe and you feel that the best thing to do is to move away for sure. Get help, be safe, get yourself to safety. But when things calm down, when you get back into the center moment in your sacred space, just with yourself reflecting, it may take time, but there's usually always some wisdom to glean from anything that has felt affronting, uncomfortable, challenging. Remembering that we are all stardust could be a lovely part of that, What particle of stardust just spun into you when you were on your way in a certain direction, and you spun them and they spun you, and now you're on a slightly different path, and what have you learned from each other? And of course, not everybody's going to have the same level of awareness that you want to bring to a situation, but that's okay. You can let go of whatever it is you think the other, or whatever you feel the outcome of the situation should be. We just ultimately have a responsibility towards ourselves and our own healing, and being present in ourselves and figuring out what it is that is going to take that shift within ourselves to actually then outwardly influence the situation for the better. And that became all about situation. So if that resonates, take what resonates and leave the rest. I was going to bring some tarot into this potentially, but actually I don't know if I want to confuse things. I will put in the notes below a little information about chamomile, but other than that, these are all pretty much face value here. And with that, I wish you a beautiful Sunday. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, welcome pile 2. So now I have to remember what I did for pile 1. I think I began with these. Oh, they have a blank. So I'm going to, I wonder why we have a blank. Wait, yes, let's have that one instead. I've never seen the blank card before. That's interesting. Maybe I should have kept it, drawn a clarifier. Okay, so this reading might have a bit of a blank canvas to it. Okay, I am ready to rise, step into my power and achieve greatness. My life is full of magic, overflowing with love and inspiration. Okay. Excuse me. All right. I think we did it like this. The Great Mother. The Rose of Venus. Lovely. I really like that because if I remember rightly, we had a rose here. We did. On the beautiful Sulamithwarfing card. So we have the Rebecca Campbell, Great Mother. Surrender to the mystery. Fall into her arms. Okay, so surrender. And the Rose of Venus, alignment, flow, right relationship and harmony. Okay. Sulamithwarfing card with a rose. 3 women. Some gorgeous willow trees in the background. When you gaze upon a rose, enjoy her beauty. Don't count her petals. I love that. I love that. I feel that that's like a call to move from the analytical mind, the thinking, the frontal, logical mind, of not counting the petals of the rose, but absorbing the geometry from the rose by just gazing upon her beauty. Very, very Venusian message. Beautiful. And this one we have rabbits and I think it's a dove. We've got a little gnome and lots of ribbons and bells. And a beautiful girl and some windy, wintry looking trees. Hopefully you can see that. Beautiful art by Sulamithwarfing. For every step forward to gain new knowledge of hidden truths, take 3 steps forward to perfect your character. Wow, okay. For every step forward to gain new knowledge of hidden truths, take 3 steps forward to perfect your character. Okay, so I'm feeling that the message there might be with every step forward on the path of uncovering hidden truth, it then takes us 3 more steps forward to actually perfect our character as we integrate that knowledge. That hidden truth takes some time to be integrated. Or it could mean that as you take 1 step forward to gain the new knowledge of hidden truths, you actually leap 3 steps forward in character perfection. I feel it's more the first message because we're talking about knowledge, not wisdom. So hidden truths and knowledge, that's very much kind of in the mind, isn't it? It's talking about the mind and the logical thinking. And then to realize that because it's knowledge and not wisdom that we're working with, it then takes time to integrate that new knowledge. Yeah, little bit of a riddle. Although I like the way that it now says I'm ready to rise, step into my power and achieve greatness. And there's talk of stepping. It's very Saturnian theme of Saturn here on this. I don't know if you can see it. It's an amulet that I inherited from my great auntie. Mysterious amulet with stars and Saturn and moon on there. Stepping forward to greatness. So that kind of does feel like once you uncover the knowledge, it is going to take some time to integrate and then take 3 more steps forward in integration towards being ready to rise and step into your power and achieve greatness. So in terms of healing with Chiron, where do we need to gather knowledge? Where do we need to step into a new direction? Or is there any knowledge that we've gathered so far that we now need to integrate in order to move forward on the path towards healing that Chiron placement? My life is full of magic, overflowing with love and inspiration. It's very, these 2 cards are very, very Venusian. This feels very much more Saturn and Jupiter. This kind of feels Venus and Moon to me, Saturn and Jupiter. The Great Mother, surrender to the mystery, fall into her arms. The Rose of Venus. The Great Mother. The Great Mother, that also kind of makes me feel it's linked to this greatness and stepping of Saturn. Very purpley blue themes of Saturn there. So the hard work, where do you need to apply work? Where do you need to apply effort in order to achieve your greatness and be ready to rise? Or where have you applied the Saturnian steps that actually now you feel you're not ready to move forward and to move into this flow, but actually when you look back and see what you've achieved and the effort that you have applied, maybe you are ready to rise and step into your power and achieve greatness, that you've spent time, you know, the 8 of Pentacles feeling of working away at something before being ready to expose it to the world. Your Chiron placement, wherever that might be telling you that you're not ready to move forward yet, but actually all of these steps have given you this ability to flow with the Rose of Venus. I love how these cards and these cards kind of feel like they belong together. So, okay, what do we have now? Not liking is often a sign of not understanding. If you try to understand the people that you don't like, you will finally learn to like them. This is a good feeling and it connects you to the universe. The universe likes everyone. So this could relate to the self, to yourself. You know, Chiron might be giving you messages where you feel you're not ready, or you're not likable, or you are not skilled enough. But if you understand where those feelings are coming from within you, you will then be able to bring that to a place of understanding and self-compassion. And if it is maybe something to do with, you know, say if Chiron's in your 7th house, maybe you find that you're struggling to get on with someone or other people. But the message here is if you try to understand the people that you're not liking, you'll finally learn to like them. And this is a good feeling, and it connects you with the universe, and the universe likes everyone. So could it be that something you're working on involves creating some sort of team or partnership with somebody, but it's feeling a bit stuck because you're not sure whether you like the people or even yourself? You know, maybe you're going to become self-employed and you're not sure if you want to spend that much time alone with yourself. So maybe just a little bit of reconciliation around, you know, self-love. You know, Chiron could be in the 1st house, Chiron could be in the 7th house as an example. And, you know, people, I often say, I always feel that people are mirrors. Like whoever we attract into our life is mirroring something back to us. so that we can then glean that information from that mirror back at ourselves. So if we find that we're in conflict with somebody, there's more than likely a part of ourselves that we're finding a dislike towards. So where can we lean into those places where we might feel uncomfortable about certain parts of ourselves, certain traits, certain shadows, maybe even certain body parts, you know? And how can we reconcile and just send some real loving thoughts, and to understand where they may have come from, you know? Sit down, take some deep breaths, ask your guides, be in the present moment and ask where that dislike is coming from, and learn to understand it and ask for it to be cleared, because, you know, these are shadow thoughts, you know, more than likely relating to something deep in the psyche or in the DNA that you may be carrying forward in your lineage from somewhere that's not even related to you. But if you sit down and understand it, that's when the healing can come. And I feel that this is potentially 7th house related, because we do have, there's a couple, some sort of union happening there. And maybe as well, it's the union with the self. You know, the feminine and masculine archetypes within us. Maybe something isn't quite in balance. And Venus and Saturn, you know, Venus rules Libra and Saturn is exalted in Libra. That's his happiest place. That's where balance can mostly be achieved. So through effort and a little bit of work and listening in to the other, listening into the self, we can find that beautiful Venusian place of balance, alignment, flow, right relationship with the other, right relationship with the self, in order to bring harmony, key word of the sign of Libra. And surrender. These things take surrender, especially if we're to surrender to certain areas of life that allow us to be in relationship, right relationship with someone else. It takes surrender. You know, we can't be all about fight and being closed off. We have to learn to be open, like Venus with the rose. More roses here, and also little DNA coils I'm noticing here too. We're talking about bringing something forward in our ancestral line, potentially to be cleared with our Chiron wound. Sometimes it's not ours, it doesn't even belong to us, it actually belongs to the lineage, whether that's the star lineage or whether that's the lineage of our own blood family. All right. The universe doesn't judge. It hears every order. So this is about ordering from the universe, cosmic ordering. It hears every order and it's always willing to deliver. But we are sometimes too drowsy to receive the delivery. So pay attention. Anyone can be a messenger to you. Every word can be a piece of advice. That's really interesting as well. I was, thinking about listening, surrendering and listening to the words and the thoughts and behaviors of another, listening. And sometimes, Venus, moon kind of vibrations are all about relaxation and going with the flow. But maybe sometimes we need to remain just a little bit alert in order to receive in that moment of surrender the information. So when we're paying attention and we're listening, very, very Saturnian themes, anyone can be a messenger to you. Every word, every word can be a piece of advice. I really believe that. I really believe that with awareness and paying attention. Solutions abound to every challenge. I'm going to put that over here. I love the colours as well. Again, we've got this very blue, purpley blue, Saturnian kind of theme happening here. Solutions abound to every challenge. yeah, the challenges that Saturn brings, you know, are often about creating the diamond from the piece of charcoal. You know, the more pressure, the more challenge that's applied, we actually find that we can make ourselves into that greatness, or we're being shaped by life and our circumstances and by our efforts into greatness. Solutions abound to every challenge. So sometimes a Chiron wound, the theme of a Chiron wound is that we are never going to fully heal the Chiron wound, but it keeps progressing us towards that greatness. And one of the most important things about the Chiron wound is when we lean into it and we work out what the Chiron wound is for ourselves, we can then begin to help others to heal their own Chiron placement, their own Chiron wound. So yeah, oops, wait, watch, you will know when. Oh, I love that. Okay, so when we're waiting, we're often resting, waiting, but we're remaining alert, we're paying attention in the wait, okay, and we're watching. So we're not judging, we're waiting and we're watching. This looks like a dragon's eye here as well. I love that. Watching, it's looking out. And when we are in the present moment and when we're surrendering, that's when the knowledge can flow to us. So when we surrender to the Great Mother, and this also has a very Kali Ma kind of colour frequency to it, like the Great Mother. So waiting and watching and knowing when, guided by the Great Mother through rest and flow. This also reminds me of like a human design projector theme, where a projector really has to wait for the invite, which can be very frustrating sometimes. I'm also a 6/2 projector, and it's not always about initiation. You know, it's about waiting for the magic in the flow of the moment and being in the heart space and getting to that optimal place where the invitation then arrives. But that often takes surrender, which brings me back to the card of the Great Mother. Beautiful. All right, and our herbal astrology card is, whoa, Dragon's Blood. Oh my God, you couldn't write it. You couldn't write it. It's so beautiful. So we've got Dragon's Blood, okay, and we've got an eye. And I literally just said, that reminds me of a dragon's eye here. So Dragon's Blood, Anima Mundi, card number 51. So a 6. And wow, we have Lilith and Pluto. If ever I saw a more Lilith card, it was this one. So transformation of a painful wound, you know. It really is making me think about the first house, like maybe Lilith and Chiron being somewhere around the first house, and having Pluto there as well, and the need to transform that with a fiery dragon, you know. Just before I came to do this reading, I saw in my YouTube feed a video from Diana Cooper, a really short video, and I'll see if I can link it below, of just calling in the energy of a dragon. You know, do you want a fire dragon? Do you want a water dragon? Do you want an air dragon? Do you want an earth dragon? You know, and dragons can really, really bring firewall of protection. They can go deep into the oceans and the earth, far deeper seemingly than an angel could reach. You know, if you're trying to shift some really deep-seated wounding, you know, Lilith in the first house, that's about being a rebel. That's about being unapologetic and being yourself and shaking things up, and that's not going to be easy. But if you can call in some of this dragon energy to be with you, you know, and help you to know, you know, to be in this place of attention and surrender, and know that you're protected. Kali Ma, the Great Mother. When you need to carry off this potentially Lilith, Chiron in the first house, then all you need, you know, solutions abound to every challenge. Call in dragon energy. Call in dragon energy. Amazing. Beautiful. Love the synchronicity. And we have this wave of green coming through. All right, our last message is, hey, only in the darkness can you see the stars. Martin Luther King. Yeah, so sometimes life is dark, life is challenging, but we wouldn't see the stars if it wasn't for the dark, you know? Somebody once sent me a message, just a little vine or a canvas saying it takes a whole lot of darkness to make a star shine. But solutions abound to every challenge. Wait to watch, you will know when. Surrender. This also looks like a baby dragon. Yes, there's always help, no matter what the darkness. Always help available to us, dragons, angels, guidance from physical others. Asking for help is a very, very potent piece of magic if you can, but bring yourself to do so. That quote was by Martin Luther King Jr. And we've got a bit of a fun quote to finish off here from the, whoops, that was the wrong way around, from the perfect Venusian character of the silver screen, Marilyn Monroe. Everyone is a star and has the right to twinkle. Marilyn Monroe. Absolutely. Fully, wholeheartedly agree. And with that, dear Pile 2, I bid you a very happy Sunday. Much love from me. Bye for now. All right, pile number 3. Here we go. These gorgeous Vex King and Kaushara affirmation cards. I will put the list of all the cards below, in the links below. I acknowledge the greatness in my life and celebrate it. I am in sync with the flow of life, gracefully navigating its twists and turns. So we're asking, what can we do to heal our Chiron wound? We actually ended up with 3 cards for pile 3, 3 affirmation cards for pile 3. I protect my peace by establishing and upholding healthy boundaries when needed. I love that. Yes, certainly feel that the beginning of this year held a lot of that so far for me. You know, and if you're a kind of water sign or very much a star seed, boundaries are difficult because we very much operate through unity and love, but sadly not everyone's there yet, and sometimes we need to learn how much giving is enough, how much time is enough, you know, how much money is enough. It's all energy. So yeah, sometimes we need to just put ourselves first and protect ourselves with our boundaries, which are an act of love both for us and for the other. Because if we allow someone else to constantly take, then we're actually doing an injustice unto them also. Okay, Campbell's We Are Nature, becoming grounded, embodiment, living in connection. Beautiful. Becoming grounded, embodiment, living connection. I might just pop that one over there. It might look a bit not symmetrical, so I apologise if that's upsetting for anyone. I do like symmetry as well. I had a blank card come through as well. I don't know where it is now. Could do with a blank card just to be there, just for symmetry. I'll tell you what, I'll put that one there. Hopefully it doesn't annoy you not knowing what the message is there. In fact, come on, let's have it. My trust in who I am is unwavering me and leading me along the right path. Okay, pile 3, don't tell pile 1 and 2 that you got an extra 2 cards. All right. Okay. The crowning, initiation, thresholds, birth, rebirth, a seat at the table. Okay, so how can we heal our Chiron wound? Through grounded embodiment and through living in connection and having a seat at the table. I feel like pile 1 might have also been about Chiron in the 11th house and feeling that we don't ever quite fit. We're a bit of an outcast, a bit of an outsider. But you know, when we zoom out sometimes, I think the message in that group as well was we're all stardust. We deserve a seat at the table. We have a seat at the table. We just have to claim it. You know, these are old stories, old outworn stories that we need to bring love to in ourselves in order to rebirth ourselves and reclaim our right to being connected, to crossing that threshold, to initiate ourselves back into connection. If you've been in a little bit of a hermit mode, you know, coming up to the place of the Chiron return when you are approaching 49, 50 years old, you can have been through a period of being the hermit. You know, you garner everything between the ages of 0 and 30, and then between 30 and 50, you run with what you've garnered in a kind of hermit mode. You know, 8 of Pentacles, work on it. And then around the age of 49, 50, when it comes to your Chiron return, you can then be in a position to lead through what you have learned, through your own wounding, and then be in a position of helping and healing others, or helping others to heal their own Chiron placement, which only ever really comes within a hair's breadth of being fully healed. But then perhaps that is what propels us forward to then be inspired to go on and help others to heal their Chiron wounds. Grounded embodiment, living in connection with others, in connection with nature, crossing the threshold. I acknowledge the greatness in my life and celebrate it. Again, we've got that greatness theme, that Saturnian greatness through effort, you know, the effort of working with this Chiron wound. And I protect my peace by establishing and upholding healthy boundaries when needed. Healthy boundaries. You know, that can be Mars, Saturn. I'm in sync with the flow of life, gracefully navigating its twists and turns. When we are in sync with nature, we naturally are in flow with life, and we can attract that grace that is needed in order to navigate life's twists and turns. And my trust in who I am is unwavering, leading me along the right path. I trust in who I am, who I am about to become as I enter the rebirth. And who I am, initiation. That reminds me of Aries. This really reminds me of Aries Saturn about to move into Aries and bringing this rebirth. Who I am a very Aries theme. So we've got our boundaries, we've got our flow. I feel we've got Mars and we've got Venus in right relationship with each other. And it's bringing us into union with who we are on the right path. Okay, we've got the Cosmic Ordering cards here by Barbell Moore. Be inspired by nature, observe animals and the movement of the leaves in the wind, or embrace trees. While you do this, recognize that the power that created all of this is also within you and is waiting to be used to make your own creation. I mean, I just love this. You know, to me, this is like this card mixed with this card, you know. Be inspired by nature. Observe animals, the movement of the leaves in the wind, embrace the trees. Recognize that the power that created all of this is also within you. And use it to make your own creation. Maybe you are your own creation. You know, as you recreate, rebirth yourself into that place, crossing the threshold from Pisces in that watery womb space into Aries, I am. Gorgeous. Love this. Making sure we're still recording. And we are almost an hour. All right. Write down what your life would be like if you were completely happy, and then check several times daily whether your thoughts, your words, and your feelings are supportive of your ideal life. Remember, your words, thoughts, and feelings form your reality. This kind of makes me think of like maybe Chiron is in Virgo. You know, maybe there's some self-criticism going on, self-judgment. You know, maybe Chiron is in Aries, judging the self. Maybe Chiron is in the first house. Or maybe, you know, Gemini, this communication. Maybe you have a Gemini first house, communication with the self. Is it in alignment with where you want to go? Or is there some negative self-talk? Reprogramming, constantly programming under the surface, underneath your subconscious thoughts. Are they actually going in the opposite direction of where you want to go? And so you may feel that despite your efforts, you're still not able to cross that threshold. But you can write down the words and just see if there's anything there subliminally holding you back. And if writing is a thing, there was, when my eldest was little, he had real barriers to writing. He did not like writing at all. And so we wrote down a Ganesh mantra, Om Gam Ganapatiye Namaha, or Om Namo Ganeshaya Namaha. And we just had it stuck on a little post-it note next to his desk, and we had a picture of Ganesh. And he used to just chant that a few times before doing his homework. And it would work. It would work every time. And, you know, we forget these things sometimes. So maybe if writing things down is a bit of a barrier, or maybe if anything feels like an obstacle, we can always call on Ganesh Ji to help us shift those obstacles. You know, we have to work to remember these things sometimes. You know, that was the whole theme of the Kali Yuga, was to forget these gifts that we were given. But now is the time of remembering. You know, we're moving out, or moved out of the Kali Yuga now, but where might we still be holding on to some of those old conditionings, old programmings that are holding us back? Yay! And here we have a beautiful, this is Braca Goldsmith's Palladian Oracle deck. Gorgeous astrologer and painter and Palladian guide. Helium balloons are lifting you higher. I like that. Where are we going to put this? Where are we going to put this? We're going to put it here, I think. My trust in who I am is unwavering, leading me along the right path. So helium balloons, we become lighter when we release some of these old programmings. And when we chant mantras, they don't have to be in Sanskrit. They can be in English. You know, I am moving forward. I trust in who I am, and that it's leading me along the right path. And they become like helium balloons. Helium balloons always remind me of ascension, rising higher. So yeah, that's a lovely Palladian, positive, hopeful message. I love that. And I like as well how the circular theme here looks like a rose, looks like the rose that's in the middle of the crowning card. Beautiful. And crowning, crown, rising, sorry, wrong way around. You know, helium balloons are lifting you higher to the crown. To the crown. What wisdom can we bring in through the crown to help us shift? With a waterfall of light, we can invite in to shift some of that negative programming, negative self-talk that we don't need, that's holding us back. Speaking from experience. Ooh, intuitive flashes. I have never seen this card before. Intuitive flashes. We were just talking about the crown chakra. So the crown chakra, is it bringing in some intuitive flashes? Are we getting flashes from the universe through our crown chakra, through our third eye? You know, it also reminds me of looking up through the leaves. You know, if you lay on the ground like this person we are in nature, and maybe she's looking upwards through the trees to this place of the sun's coming in and delivering intuitive flashes through the third eye. Also, we can see that she looks like she's receiving some intuitive flashes also. Beautiful. Yeah. So, you know, if we are dealing with a Gemini or feeling more like a Virgo placement, very mercurial, very possibly self-critical, Chiron wound, how can we bypass that logical mind? We can come into the heart, we can receive through the crown. Yeah, beautiful. And we have the Sullamith-Wolfing cards. If you don't really change something, oh sorry, if you want to really change something, you must walk a new path. Wow. Oh my goodness, look at this, gorgeous. And I do believe that in Vedic astrology, the North Node, bird relating to the North Node in Vedic astrology is the gull, and this is a seagull. And the North Node talks about walking a new path. So perhaps there's also here a Chiron placement that might be close to the South Node that's even more indicative that we need to push forward towards a North Node, towards walking in a new direction. And maybe that's the intuitive flash that we're receiving. You know, there is some similar colours here with the gold and amber and grey and black. If you want to really change something, you must walk a new path. Wow. Beautiful. I'm running out of space a little bit because we have these extra cards. I'm going to put that one there. We have another Sullamith-Wolfing card here. It's like, I don't know if the woman is within the moth or the moth is within the woman or the fairy. I think she's a fairy. Does she have wings? Yes, she has wings. So this almost makes me feel like that's like maybe there's a twin flame kind of thing happening there. Or maybe they're just, yeah. Everything before us all behind us is nothing compared to that which is within us. Beautiful. That makes me feel like what I've just said is about balancing that nodal placement of the north and south nodes. Look at the similar colours. The colours in the other cards from this deck that I pulled were nothing like. Balancing that nodal placement. I love the honey gold colours. They're very sort of Aryan, you know, there's the red, Aries, kind of fiery, golden sun. You know, the north node and the south node. Everything before us or behind us is nothing compared to that which is within us. So when we're quiet and we rest and we go within and we connect with nature, you know, and we've closed our boundaries to the things that don't serve us, and we remember the greatness, we remember the steps we've already taken, we look back and we take stock and we celebrate where we've come from, and we glean and we take the lessons forward. You know, we've taken that period of hermit work that we've done with healing Chiron, and we move forward with it. You know, we walk the new path with what Chiron has taught us, with what our nodal placements have taught us. And we remember that when we balance those two nodal points, that's when we can come into wholeness. Don't worry, I haven't forgotten about these. Yeah, we come into wholeness when we balance the past and the future, and we come into the present, we go within, inspired by nature. Be inspired by nature, observe animals and the movement of leaves in the wind, or embrace trees. Lay on the grass, look up through the trees. I know in Britain we don't really have the weather for that at the moment, but we can walk amongst tall trees and look upwards. Sage, blessing, beautiful, sage. And here we have Jupiter and Moon as our totems of sage. Gorgeous stars, mountains, moon, a fire burning, sage burning, and the word is simply blessing. Blessing. Beautiful. Number 6. Very Venusian number 6. It makes me think of the 6 of Cups, 6 of Wands, victory, 6 of Swords, even moving away from something into, you know, leaving the nostalgia of the past in the 6 of Cups, taking the blessings, you know, the blessings, the greatness, all the blessings that you've brought with you so far, and put them all into who you are and who you're about to become. Beautiful. Rising, rising, rising towards a new you, walking a new path. Here, my trust in who I am is unwavering, leading me along the right path, indicating that with change, that actually becomes a new path. A new path. Maybe the path is new because you've simply reprogrammed some of those thoughts that were holding you down and keeping you in a loop. You've burnt through them, you've burnt the sage, it's cleansed away the past, swept away the dead leaves, and now you're rising higher into this rebirth, this reset, coming up very soon in Aries, when Saturn and Neptune conjunct on the 20th of February, and when we have a solar eclipse. Yeah, the solar eclipse is coming. This kind of has a solar eclipse feel about it. Intuitive flashes. Maybe there's going to be some intuitive flashes for you at the solar eclipse. Full moon solar eclipse on the 17th of February. Yeah, a new path often brings in the new. Yeah, Yes, indeed. Okay, last two cards. Keep your eyes on the stars and your feet on the ground. Beautiful. Yes. Become grounded. Embodiment, living in connection. Looking upwards to the trees, through the trees. Keeping your eyes on the stars and your feet on the ground. Again, balance, 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 balance. Whenever we do any meditation work, any healing work, it's always, if we're moving upwards, we also need to be grounded. So maybe that's a message here too. Like the tree of life, we need to bring our roots right down as the crystalline core of the earth, and then also reach up high at the same time, but not without. We mustn't move up too high without first becoming grounded, because like a tree with no roots or shallow roots, we cannot sustain the height that the healing balloons are trying to take us to. All right, last card. Do not define your world in black and white, because there is so much hidden amongst the greys. That makes me think of star seeds and the greys. But I mean, it might not mean anything to do with grey aliens, but it may just be that sometimes, again, this is making me think that maybe the person watching this, maybe there are a few of you that might have a Chiron placement that is conjunct or very close to one of the nodes, the north node or the south node, which can maybe have us pinging back and forth between extremes, you know, but maybe there's a middle ground. Again, there's two figures on this card of the sage, you know. Maybe the place between them is balance. You know, maybe there's a point of balance between the two of them. And of course, balance makes everything okay. Life in balance. Not too much black and white thinking. Not too much left, not too much right. Balance, come into the middle. Again, you know, nature is going to be the answer for us all to find that middle ground, to become balanced. You know, I also love that here we've got the stars and the ground. I love how these fit together as well. Gorgeous. Thank you so much for being here, pile number 3. I will link to all the card decks below, and also to the 5 to 8 hertz miracle tone frequency video. And yeah, without further ado, I wish you a very, very happy Sunday with much, much love. Bye for now.